Good morning from the Ozarks High Point. It's Chris and Drex. I don't know if you can see Drex over here. But I thought I would bring a little morning footage. We've got a rainy morning here, and we started our vacation for a week up here staying at the property. And I've got a couple plans for what to do, but since we've got a rainy, cool morning and me and Drex were hanging out drinking some coffee early, I thought I would talk about what I'm going to do. I've got some new game cams, and I'm going to do a review video and about mounting them and such, getting ready for deer season, so I can stick one with my stick bow. And then not only will I give a little plan for that, but we'll have a couple drinks of coffee and just talk about my channel a second. But anyway, I wanted to, a lot of us do this for fun. I love to video edit. I love to do all of these things outdoors. So then my foraging and all of this ends up being a hobby interest thing that I've not been monetized by YouTube yet. But I love this. I love what I do. So these reviews and things I do are nothing more than I'm a very frugal hunter and outdoorsman. And when I find a good deal, I want to review and so other people can see as well. Just like these Moultrie cameras. I got a super deal on them. I'll tell you about in a second. But there was only 3 or 4 actual customer reviews on these on YouTube that I felt like were valuable. So I wanted to do one that was a real person review. These products and bows and whatever else I do have nothing to do with, I don't make money from those companies. They don't provide the products. This is nothing more than actual people using the product review. So anyway, I hope you all have a great day. I'm going to talk about my game plan on these, and then I'll get into it here. Thank you very much. Alright, so on with it. Now this is about the Moultrie M50i. I have been watching for a game cam to mount for a while, but I wanted a good deal. There's a lot of them out there. I'm not ready quite yet to go into the paying monthly to get shots sent to me. I have access here on our property to be able to just roll down and pick up. And since this is my first season to really try to pattern deer and chase them deeply with the stick bow and tree stand hunt and such, I want to actually talk about what I've decided to do. I've had my eye out for a long time. We live here in southwest Missouri in the Ozarks, so I'm in Bass Pro every other day, and I go to the outlet, and I have not found a really good deal that I thought was a new camera on a good deal yet. But then my wife and I were in Walmart, which unfortunately we don't like to really buy a lot of stuff from them. But this was one of those deals I always go and check, and they had it for $168, and then it was on sale for $64 on clearance. Now the crazy thing is, I'm not sure why, because I even asked the girl, and she said, well, they're reshifting and have new stock coming in because they've now, after this, put it back from the $64 back to full price. But my brother, he's not able to be here right now. I told him about it, and he went and grabbed one that day. So we got the last 2 for $64. And I couldn't believe it. I'll even show you the pic. So I thought this was a great way at 20 megapixels, 1/3 of a second, 0.3 on your time on how quick it takes a pic. It can be hooked up later to their system to send through Verizon, who I use, or whoever else, who we get a signal here. So that was a big bonus. Then it's got a 2-year warranty, and it has the M50i version, which is the invisible infrared. It takes 1080p video, and then you can also adjust your 20 megapixel from like 8, 12, whatever you want on that. I did figure out that it only takes up to a 32 gig card. I bought a micro SD with the adapter because that same card I could use. I got a really high rate write speed so that I could use it in my 4K camera if I want as well. and flip-flop in and out. But I'm going to take down later on when the rain stops. We had this nice cool rainy morning, and I'm going to mount them and show you some video of where I'm putting them on the property. And then in the future I'll connect back to this and show some pics and things of how they're really showing up and how they do. They do take 8 batteries. They suggest a Energizer. I don't know if they have a deal with them or if really that's the one that works best with their camera, but I went ahead and did that because the paperwork said that. And then on top of that, the other thing, when I bought these, I don't know if it's why they were on clearance or not, because this is the new model, but the firmware was not updated. And they suggest that if they go to their website, some are, some aren't. Probably the newer ones, or at least have the newest stuff upgrade on the firmware. This one was not upgraded. That took like 5 minutes to upgrade both of them so that I actually have a super up-to-date camera with the actual firmware for all the new stuff that's happening from that company, from Moultrie. So anyway, that's a little bit about it. I just wanted to talk about it a second, the plan on what I'm going to do later. I'm going to get on the four-wheeler when it gets a little drier a little bit later and go down and put one in a place that my brother had created a water hole. We have a spring. I'm going to put, I think, mine at the spring, and then probably my brother's. He wanted his near a new trail that we created that's had some activity. And we'll see how it goes. So, Chris from the Ozarks High Point, I'll be right back with you. Alright, well, we've arrived at one of the first spots that I'm thinking about using, and one of the reasons is you can tell behind me, I've got this massive, amazing alleyway, so I'm thinking about putting a camera right up here in this hedge, because also, right in here there's a bedding area pressed down. I'm sure there's some in the area right now I'm not seeing. I heard a snort huff. And then right here is the spring. If I turn and go here, I've got this spring right here behind me that they all travel. You can see some movement paths right through this little alley gap where they use our trail too. So I think this might be a really good spot. And then my brother, we've cut a new trail in the woods, and I think I'm going to put his up where he wanted back in there. But it's such a gorgeous place. This trail cam on the Moultrie I should talk about, on the M50i. M50i, I'm sorry, the Moultrie M50i. It has an 80-foot sensor, so I think if I put it in this hedge and trim a few limbs, or this Osage, and then capture a good 80-foot span on high def across this traveling corridor gap that leads back to there. I think that's my first choice. I can't beat a good water source like a spring, so anyway, I'm going to work on getting one set up. Well, we've arrived to the spot that I'm going to put my own personal camera. This spot's been not only a favorite little spot in the woods of mine for a long time, but number one, because the deer traffic here is really heavy. They love this spot off the edge of the upper ridge top. They like to travel right through here. There's a really heavy acorn feed, but as well as we had a mineral block set up here in the past, and then on top of that, like, it's just a natural, really rolling corridor through here. I'm going to set my cam up here and do the test on it to get it started, put some corn out here as well, and then I'm going to point it in this direction off to this side. They say point your cameras to the north, so this works out perfectly. I'm going to have it on this main tree right here, you'll notice, and then it's going to shoot across this direction. So this is a really awesome, gorgeous feeding area, and we'll see what happens. I'm supposed to have 80-foot range on this camera on the Moultrie, so this will be where I set it up. So now let's set up the camera. Okay, now this has a motion sensor tester, so you can see if it's picking you up or not. So I'm going to test that for a minute, start it and do some range off to 80 feet and make sure it's picking up. And then I'll actually get the camera started and we'll be able to shoot across this gorgeous area. Alright, let's try to work it around this tree instead. Get a shot across this way. Still be facing the north. Alright, I think I got it. We're going to see how that goes, and we'll try to do an aim detection again on it. We're going to try motion aim detecting again and see how it goes going this direction. Nothing here. But it'll be worth it. Well, it's a hot, sweaty afternoon in the Ozarks, but I got my cam put out. It's overlooking this amazing valley. I love it. I've got the bait out. Now we'll check it next week. We'll see what happens. All right. I hope this is helpful. We'll see how the actual pictures turn out, and I'll post those to come. So good luck to everybody from the Ozarks High Point. I hope you all have a great day.